All right, so for our week 3 discussion, we're talking about non-destructive editing. So we tried to do that last week, right? We were trying to do some non-destructive editing, mostly in the Harley photo. You know, we were just going in and really slightly touching that photo up. We didn't want to really edit the photo too much. We really just wanted to enhance the photo. And the same with the picture of just that guy who was kind of smirking in the in the photo. We didn't really want to super edit him. We just wanted to touch him up with the color because that photo had a lot of yellow in it. So photo retouching and restoration is a really great entry-level job for any recent graphic arts graduate. And knowing the process of non-destructive editing and keeping all your changes on separate layers is really an essential part of retouching in the restoration process. Effectively using non-destructive techniques maintains flexibility in our designs, so the client edits and modifications can be made without starting over. Once you permanently alter a pixel, there's only one way to get back to the original pixel, and that's to go back to the original image. So remember when I was showing last week, that's why I always make a copy of the original image and let it kind of hang out in the background. So that way, if I need to, I can go in and, see what it is that, I'm doing. Basically, go back to the original without having to completely start over. So, so keep that in mind when you are, when you're doing your retouching. You want to make sure that you are, keeping that original there, just kind of hanging out in the background, right? All right, so effectively, I already read that, sorry. Though you may be new to photo retouching, you've likely seen thousands of retouch photos in your life, even if you didn't know that you were looking at a retouch photo. Whether you're standing in line at the grocery market looking at a magazine cover, gazing at billboards while driving down the highway, or browsing Pinterest for the latest makeup trend, you're undeniably looking at photos that have been retouched in order to create an image of perfection. Again, going back to that Harley photo. This level of perfection is important for not only the designer who wants to keep his or her job, but for the company that the image is advertising. In order to make their product as appealing as possible, the image used in the advertisement needs to be perfect. But the ethical ramifications of too much retouching needs to be considered. Graphic designers need to communicate concerns about false advertising with their clients. There are a number of tools we use when we're editing images in Photoshop. These include the spot healing, clone stamp, adjustment layers, filters, and brush tools. It's important to make edits natural and seamless with the original image. False looking or badly edited images aren't effective in selling a product or idea. So here's your prompt for this week. Imagine that you're working at a company with 2 designers, and each of them have different styles of working. Evaluate each of the designer's editing techniques and determine which of the 2 has a more effective workflow in terms of non-destructive editing. So here are our 2 designers. There's Alan Johnson Smith and Lakeisha Martinez. So Alan believes in having an uncluttered document. For this reason, he frequently merges his layers together when he's satisfied that the design is on the right track. Alan doesn't like the way too many adjustment layers look when he's making a document, so he goes to layer adjustments to make changes, and when Alan wants to remove the background from a subject, he just uses the eraser tool. Then we have Lakeisha, who has a document with over 20 layers and uses a lot of adjustment layers, such as color balance and hue saturation when she wants to make enhancements to a photo. When she wants to remove the background from a subject, she uses a layer mask and never deletes or applies her layer mask. Even when doing spot healing or clone stamping, she always uses a separate layer. So which of these two designers has more effective, non-destructive editing techniques and why? These are the four questions you need to answer. Explain what the advantages of one designer's non-destructive editing techniques over the other. What made you determine that advantage? What suggestions might you make to the designer with the ineffective techniques to improve his or her process? So make sure that you have your main post. You need to have a citation for this week so you can do research on non-destructive editing, and then make sure you have your 2 follow-up responses to your fellow students. Another great thing that you can do is you can show some examples of non-destructive editing. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Here we go. I meant to stop my recording, not stop the share. So you guys who are watching at home can go on to the next recording.